this section focuses on creating invoices, marking jobs as paid, and tax codes. So with regards to creating invoices, we support passing invoice and paid flags into PrintIQ for each job, which you can configure as part of the plugin on a storefront-wide basis. In terms of marking jobs as paid, so PrintIQ has a flag against the job that is used to determine if that job has been paid for or not. We've added support for passing this information with the job request from Infigo at the point when the order is confirmed on the storefront. And with regards to tax codes, it is important when handling tax codes that the configuration and setup of the tax codes in both Infigo and PrintIQ is consistent. Within the PrintIQ plugin, we also allow you to specify a fallback tax code to be used in instances where a tax code is not applied or available. So let's take a look at these in a little bit more detail. I'm going to start off by just going to my Connect plugins page and navigating to my PrintIQ settings. So PrintIQ and Configure. If I scroll down a little bit to the data mapping section, the first option I'm going to focus on here is Create Invoice. So this allows you to control if you would like the job to be marked as invoiced and the invoice to be created in Connect PrintIQ. If you set this to never, then invoice will always be no. Always will show you invoiced for all jobs as yes, and always except for purchase order payment type will show PO orders as not invoiced and all other orders as invoiced. For send jobs marked as paid, that's this option here. The options we have are identical to the ones above and mean pretty much the same thing. So just to talk through these again, if you set to never, then when this is set, we'll never mark a job as paid in PrintIQ, so all will come through as paid no. When set to always, when this is set, we'll always mark a job as paid in PrintIQ, so all will come through as paid yes. And then lastly, we have always except when purchase order payment. So when this is set, we will mark all jobs as paid in PrintIQ, except when a customer uses the purchase order payment type. So for example, if you offer credit card and PO as payment options on the site, then we recommend setting it to this option, as it will pass into PrintIQ the job as paid when the customer has paid up front on the site for their order using something like PayPal, SagePay, Authorize.net. But for the orders where they've selected purchase order, it will mark it as unpaid and allow PrintIQ to invoice and charge for it later. The options for the creation of an invoice and send jobs marked as paid. So we'll take a bit of a look at where they appear in PrintIQ's system itself. Now, for the purposes of this example, we'll have both of those set to always. So any job that goes through will always automatically create an invoice and mark it as paid. So I've already sent an order through into my PrintIQ system. It's this one here. And we can already see that we have invoiced as yes. And if I look at that order in more detail, we can take a look up there and see that the order status is automatically set to paid. So I haven't done that manually. That's been automatically done. And the invoice status is set to invoiced. As part of the invoicing process, an invoice is automatically created as well, which we can retrieve from within the PrintIQ system. You can take a look at these changes and when they were made by going on to the history of an order. So we can see there that the order was created. And then the next lines are the change in the invoice status and the change in the paid status. The next option down is the fallback tax code. So within PrintIQ plugin, we also allow you to specify a fallback tax code. This value will be sent with every job where the product, where the customer is ordering, does not have a tax category assigned to it within Infigo. So again, it is important that this tax category name exists as a tax code in PrintIQ. Often, the fallback tax code is set to category named 0 and would return a 0 rate of tax. So we do have separate tutorial resources available if you want to learn more about tax categories. In this tutorial, we'll just briefly show where the relevant tax category names are found. So if I go to my tax providers by searching tax and then tax providers. So this is our tax providers screen. If I find the one that's currently set to true, which is the one it's going to be utilizing, and then I'm going to go to configure. And what we have here is a few different tax categories that have been pre-created on this particular storefront. Of course, you can create your own. And it is just a case of taking the name of that tax category and making sure there's an identical tax code available within PrintIQ. Just to make you aware, we do also have a tax jar plugin. So tax jar is a sales tax compliance software that we integrate with to provide our customers with rooftop level accuracy on sales tax rates during the ordering process. So signing up and enabling the tax jar plugin on your Infigo storefront will mean that for each order, depending on the shipping address, the correct sales tax will be applied and charged to the end user. We do have more resources available if you want to find out more about tax. Now, the reason I mentioned tax jar is that both Infigo and PrintIQ have a plugin available for tax jar. And if you want to utilize this, so if I go back to my plugin, I'll connect plugin settings. And then in our fallback tax code, in here we want to put uncalc. And that enables the workflow where we request the rate from TaxJar at Infigo. The tax is then calculated. The values of that tax are passed into PrintIQ. And then as PrintIQ also have an integration with TaxJar, PrintIQ will request and recalculate the rate from TaxJar to verify that they are the same.